The Republic and the Sith Empire have a long history of conflict, but the 5-year-old truce ended recently, and the two factions have returned to their ancient hostilities. The Jedi have joined the fight against the Sith once again, and in the Mornay star system, several young Jedi, led by Masters Thorm and Trelina Byrne, work to prevent the Sith from damaging the Republic's hold on a key strategic area. The Mornay system is vital to the Republic's military efforts elsewhere in the galaxy, as it supplies medical supplies and food to its forces in the nearby Onderon system.
There.
That was beautiful. Is that our ship robot? Because if so, I want to slap it and tell it to shut up.
Dang.
No, I wouldn't do that. That is not at all my...
That's essentially the voice. Yeah, that's going to be the voice for your X2.
Ooh, I like that.
So.
X2's got a personality.
So, yeah.
All right, so here we are again. All right, Star Wars! Star Wars D&D!
Star Wars D&D.
Star Wars D&D. Explain us this system in a brief 30-second thing. Just like, what are we doing?
All right. Kellum Jarin and Cab Montaigne, you have been tasked with guarding what the locals call the Mornay sector. There are 3 habitable planets in the system. One of them is semi-habitable. Very thin atmosphere, but one is the planet Kayalan, another is the planet Griston, and the third is the planet Trevek. On the planet Trevek, one of the continents is ruled over by an absolute monarch, both daughters of which were tested by the Jedi a little over 20 years ago. And you know that there was a conflict when that occurred, and no Jedi are allowed to set foot on that continent anymore.
Okay.
The two of you are personally apprentices to Jedi Master Thorm. There's another Jedi Master here as well, Trelina Byrne. You've seen her before. She has 2 cybernetic arms, and she's a dual saber wielder. Your Master Thorm, he's known as his species is called Breck, and he's from a world that was annexed by the Sith before he was even born. He's a relatively even-tempered master, though he does practice a form of fighting that uses a great deal of acrobatics and force blasts and pushes that borders on what some other Jedi have called too aggressive. But he does not worry about that too much, as we had the discussion last time when I told you that Jedi Master Thorm, believes that whatever tools you need to use, if it is in the process of saving other people and you are not going to cause harm to yourself or others in the process, use what you need to use. He trusts the two of you. He's told you, I trust you that you will use your intelligence and ethics to make whatever decisions you need to. And in this system, we will have to be separate on a number of occasions for us to be able to handle what we need to, as there have been sightings and one confirmed altercation between Sith infiltrators and people here in the Mornay system. Those here in the Mornay system are members of the Republic, and so we have to protect them and help them whenever we can. That was a conversation that Jedi Master Thorm had with you about a week ago, and the two of you at the moment are on a space station, a relatively small station that can handle about 50 people at any one time and about 8 ships, mid-range to smaller ships. But you are on a space station just above the planet Trevek, and at the moment, you are taking it easy after... do either one of you have engineering or mechanics, something like that?
I don't think I took either of those.
I don't. I think I have Nat in it. Just Nat normal skill points or whatever, but I didn't take it as a feat.
Okay. Well, it's not a feat. I'm just wondering if either one of you are mechanically inclined. So.
I am not.
Okay, well, your ship is. You have to come up with a name for your ship too.
Oh,
That is. Yeah, that's the ship that you've been issued along with X2, the droid.
Star Piercer.
sounds good.
All right, Star Piercer.
Okay, well, the Star Piercer took a little damage from. There is an asteroid field in this system, 2 of them actually, and sometimes some of those asteroids will go rogue when there are miners, and sometimes they're not the most careful, and so they might one of their ships, much larger ships, might bump an asteroid here and there. So your ship managed to hit one of those stray asteroids, of course, and so. And your shielding was people don't generally go around with their shields at 100%. So your ship took just a little bit of damage, and it was to the navigation array on the ship. So you needed to dock and get that fixed. Now, the Jedi, essentially the bill goes to the Jedi Order, unless, of course, you've done something really stupid. And you get, both of you have your money, right? I know you do, Tristan, but did you do your money?
No, I do not have any money.
Okay. There's no prohibition against you acquiring money, property, things like that. So that's why you would have money. Do you have dice with you?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Good. I won't have to dock you a force point then. Okay. A Jedi Guardian will get, let's see. What's your money?
Much money where your mouth is, kid.
And of course, all money is just going to be considered in credits. So, okay, so roll a D4 or 4 times. So 4D4.
A D4. Let me find my D4. And my big old sack of dice.
Or you could roll a 1-sided die.
That I also do.
A 1-sided die is just a ball.
He's rolling bingo.
The ball is rolling up, guys.
The ball is rolling up.
All right.
What a legendary statement.
That is the most legendary space statement ever to be made. I rolled a 1 on a D4.
Oh, you're supposed to roll it 4 times, though.
1, 3, and 1.
Okay, 6. So you have 1,500 credits. So, 1,500 credits. You automatically have your lightsaber and your clothing and basically a small survival kit for you, which has a couple of days of dried rations, a very, very simple first aid kit, that sort of thing. Anything else you have to purchase, however. So,
okay, so we are on a space station currently?
Yes, like I said, it's a small space station that can accommodate approximately 50 people at a time. As far as if you want to stay on the station rather than on your ship, of course, that will cost a little bit of money. And the amenities are a little more comfortable than your ship. Not a great deal more, though. There is a bar, however, so you can go there, restaurant that you can go to. And, of course, mechanics. Which is one of the primary reasons for the station here, because a lot of the people on Trevec, if you don't have to be on their planet, they would prefer you not be.
Interesting. So,
this is also one of the 2 stations where you would stop if you want to land on the planet legally, to stop and get essentially a visitor's pass.
Okay, so is Tristan right next to me, or?
Well, at the moment, we're going to pick it up where you two are. Yeah, you two are just about to order a meal in the one of the restaurants here on the station.
Okay.
I walk around with my hands up the opposite sleeve. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Hand in hand kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like in the Phantom Menace, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan did that all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
His way of posturing.
Do you want to... let's also now... Jasper, we'll start with you. Describe what your character looks like. So clothing, skin tone, hair, all of that, and your lightsaber.
Callum Jarin, he is a 20-year-old man. His robes are like the darker, more tannish Jedi robes, so it has like the dark leather mixed with some like deep burgundy like accents around, and then the darker robes as well for like his what would be considered like his Jedi robe pants and then his boots as well. And he has not like a Jedi mullet or anything. He has more of like the Jedi buzz cut, kind of like a Padawan would have. And he has one of those little tiny, because this is well before like Padawans were doing stuff like that. So he has the little Padawan like hair tail thing that kind of dangles off to the side on the back of his head.
Yeah, that's actually a thing from Obi-Wan's world. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So he has that kind of like hairstyle going. And it is dark brown hair. He has he's like a very Caucasian like space human because he spends a lot of time in space. So he has way lighter tone skin, and he has I want to say like deep green eyes, so like kind of like almost dark green eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
which would stand out really well in the pale face.
Yes, very much so. So yeah, essentially that is what he looks like, and his lightsaber is a darkened metal, so it looks almost as if it's stained, and it's one that has no actual like spout covering, so like some of them have like the hilt guards and stuff. His does not. His actually is where the lightsaber just comes right off of the end of it with no guards or anything, and it is still a cylindrical blade. It's not a super long handle. It looks like it's mainly meant for one-handing, but he can two-hand it if he needs to.
All right.
And that is
nice.
That is my character.
Cool. All right. Tristan. What is Cab?
Cab Montaigne is a 21-year-old Sith pureblood guy. He's got bright red skin. Nice lightsaber, by the way. Black hair. He's got two of the almost Davy Jones-like tentacles off either side of his mouth and on the outsides of his eyebrows. And he carries himself with I don't know how other to describe it, with nobility. Good posture.
With a calm demeanor.
Yes.
All right. There's not very many pureblood Sith amongst the Jedi, so a bit of an oddity there. But you have proven yourself thus far as an apprentice in the Jedi Order, both of you.
Right.
All right.
Would I sense something like that coming from him? Like,
since what?
Like, if he has like dark side powers or something.
You could attempt to use a. It basically comes down to, you just say you want to try to sense something. Like if you want to try to sense life force around you, you probably are not going to get exactly direction, but you could sense if something was alive around you, right?
That's fine.
But it is a difficult wisdom check, but you can attempt it. Now, as far as specifically determining someone who's dark side, that would be difficult unless they're actively doing something. So it would be much, much more difficult if they're just being chill.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, I would assume you've probably attempted this at some point in the past, though. And, but if you want to attempt it again, feel free. We can have you roll.
No. So I'd say, Tristan, like, do you think your guy gets along with my guy fairly well? Do you think we like are we buddy apprentices, or are you like, I don't want to talk to you, so don't fucking touch me?
No, we'd probably get along well.
Okay, all right. Then I accept that. I'd probably be walking around in this little restaurant thing with you, and I'd be doing the same, like hands and sleeves. And it'd be like, I'd lean to you and I'd say, I don't know where we sit.
Where are we again?
You are in a little restaurant / bar that could seat around 20, 25 people, perhaps. It's on the outer edge of this kind of oval-shaped space station. So you have a big curved, it's called transparasteel. So it's, transparent steel alloy. Big transparasteel window that you can either sit in one of the tables along that or at the bar. Or you can get your food and go somewhere else. But so right now, the way the station is slowly rotating, you can see about half of the planet below. It's a relatively temperate world, has its normal polar ice caps, and has 5 major continents. So about 70% of it is ocean. And the largest continent is the one that is ruled over by the royal family.
In my experience, we may wait to be seated or sit at the bar.
I typically gather my food from temple, so I leave it to you.
A booth it is. And is there like a sign that says please wait to be seated, or?
Oh no, this is just you can tell, you would just walk in. You guys have been here for a few hours. You've managed to get a mechanic working on your ship. You were told it will probably be until tomorrow before they will be finished with your ship.
All right, well, we'll take a booth.
All right.
So if you absolutely had to, you could fly in system without a navigation array, but trying to do a hyperspace flight would not be recommended.
Okay.
All right. So, yes, you're seated. A waiter comes over who he looks mostly human, but his eyes, he has eyelids, which rather than being horizontal or parallel to the ground like your eyelids, his are vertical. And his teeth have a silvery look to them. But he just asks for your order. It's pretty much the standard fare, like Nerf. So there's a lot of Nerf burgers, Nerf steaks. They're essentially some herd animals, which, if you want an Earth equivalent, they would be kind of like fuzzy, shorter cows with longer noses. Yeah. So, but standard fare. So you can get regular alcohol, you can get synthetic alcohol, of course, all kinds of fruit juices, whatever. So, and of course, as Jedi, there's no prohibition against eating or drinking any particular things. So they just say try to be moderate in what you're doing.
That'll be a Nerf burger for me.
If you remember, Princess Leia called Han Solo a scruffy nerf herder.
Nerf herder. Yeah. I just get like today's special essentially, like just whatever that is, and I point at it because is he showing us a menu or is he like?
Oh, basically you have a little digital menu that comes up in the table.
Okay, I point at it and I say, this, thank you.
That would be broca stew. Brocas are essentially probably about 12 to 15 kilo jumping mammals that live on the planet below.
Whatever they are, I will indeed eat it, so long as it is not alive.
He chuckles. He says, "We don't serve anything alive, except," he said, "there's a delicacy, crimson worms, but he says they are as hot as they look." And then he does glance at you, Tristan, and Cab. He says, crimson, and he's
he winks.
Yeah,
he nudges your arm.
Yeah.
He feels you up.
Yeah, I'd say, yep, same.
All right. So you sit there waiting for about 15 minutes until your food comes out. Now you know that your master Thorm had left. He needed to go speak with Master Byrne about something, and so he had left a couple of days ago, and he has a small ship. It's essentially a one-person ship, kind of like a little fighter. Would look almost like a Naboo fighter, that'll come around in a few thousand years, but a little more pointy in places. Very maneuverable little ship. So your master's not the best pilot, but he's fairly good in a dogfight. So.
So I see this though. I see this ship.
Well, I mean, you did see the ship.
Okay, I bring it.
He left a couple of days ago.
I bring it up to you, Cab. I say, as we're sitting there waiting for food, I say, the master's ship is quite a fascinating. I wish I could pilot it. He's never let me.
He's never what?
He's never
let you pilot his ship?
No, he has let me pilot the Starpiercer, but he has not let me pilot his ship.
Could it is his personal ship, so.
Still.
It is a nice ship.
I wish I could take it for a little spin around the station.
How many times have you asked?
Well, I'm gonna roll for this one. Okay, I'm gonna say I rolled a 15. What do you think, good Sir DM? How many times would I have had to ask for him to give me a stern look no?
Thorm would probably just... You need to practice a lot more on the Starpiercer before you can fly the ship that I have. It's just beyond your capabilities. Too much of a ship for you, my apprentice. But yeah, probably after asking him about the half-dozenth time, he seems to know exactly how many times you would have asked him. I'd say that is enough. I will let you know.
And I would nod and then walk away and just have my head hung low. And that's my memory of it.
Well then, I suppose you'll just have to show him you're up to the task.
Well, I mean, we are currently docked here. I don't know where we're going to go after this. We still have our mission to take.
Yes, and when it is time to fly the Star Piercer again, maybe we won't hit another asteroid.
Now, if you'll recall, that wasn't my doing.
Of course, and with you at the helm, we will not hit another asteroid, correct?
Yes, very true. Very true. I was in the cargo van.
All right. Both of you roll a d20 as your food is being brought to you, so that your waiter is setting your the trays down in front of you with your food and drinks.
I got 12.
6.
Okay. Add your wisdom modifiers to this, please.
7.
14.
Okay. Okay, one moment. Tristan, your character, Cab, you notice someone steps into the restaurant here, and by the way he's dressed, relatively simple clothing, but he does have some shin guards on, and his gloves, and for just a moment, you see, and he's wearing a jacket too that hangs down to about his mid-thigh. He has had his one thumb kind of hooked into his belt, and then he pulls, lets his hand drop to his side, and for just a moment, you saw a symbol on his belt, and you're not entirely certain, but it looked quite a bit like a Mandalorian warrior symbol.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's not wearing Mandalorian armor or anything like that, but it looked like that kind of horned symbol of the Mandalorians.
Oh, and these are classic Mandalorians too.
I kind of point with my eyes and be like, now there's an interesting looking fellow. I think I saw a Mandalorian.
I turn and I look,
emblem.
and I want to do a history check to see if looking at him gives me any indication of like where he's from and like how far away he is from where he should be.
Like clothing, hairstyle, that sort of thing?
Yeah, like whether he's wearing a certain kind of armor, or it's like full body, or it's like a color or a clan or something.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the only armor he has really are those shin guards, and they look as if they have some engravings on them, but you're both a little too far away to get the specific look on it. You can just tell that there's some filigree on the shin guards.
Okay.
But go ahead and make a history check.
I have a +4 to my spot, and then I also have a history check. So can I spot history check? Can I?
Let's see. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead and do a spot. We'll see if you can squint your eyes and see if you can make out some details.
I managed to squint really hard with a 21.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. Well, you do indeed see some script on it. So it's actually some writing. And then make your history check.
I got a dirty 19.
Okay. Yeah, you cannot read the language, but it is definitely also Mandalorian. And it's one of the older dialects too.
Would that tell me anything about that guy?
With the older dialect, amongst the Mandalorians, there are those who believe that anyone can become a Mandalorian. Tons of them are human, but they're not all human. Anyone can become a Mandalorian. The older groups believe only Mandalorians can be Mandalorians. It doesn't matter who you are. If a Mandalorian marries someone else, the person they marry is not going to be a Mandalorian, and they refuse to train anyone else in those abilities and skills. The thing with this older sect is much smaller than the norm, but the older sect are also known for being some of the best trained individuals because that's what they live for. Mandalorians, they're known for being good, very skilled warriors, correct? But the older sect, they live it. They do not engage in other activities. They train for battle. Maybe piloting, some computer use if they need to, for example, but it's still everything they do is geared towards fighting and defeating their enemies, whoever those enemies might be. So they are, and they generally do not take prisoners when they're fighting. If you're engaging in a fight, they assume that if you're going to fight, you accept all the rules of battle, which means you fight to the death.
Okay, so I look over at Cab and I refer a little bit of this to him and I say, yes, a warrior so far from home. This is...
Well, you see, he takes a seat while you're speaking to each other. He takes a seat over by the furthest away from the entrance and with his back to the wall.
I lean in to you and just without side-eyeing the man, I lean in and I say, I wonder what he is doing here and what his goal might be, because usually these kinds of warriors only travel where there's work or war. And if he's here, and I kind of just like eyes, forehead down, eyes still locked on you.
I see.
Jasper, make another history check real quick.
Well, Tristan, do you have history?
Nah, let me check. I do not have history. I didn't put any points into history, at least.
Knowledge?
No knowledge.
God damn it. Alright, I'll...
He's a warrior through and through.
Yeah, that's fine. I am the historian. I got an 11. Or actually,
Okay.
sorry, I got a 12.
Okay. Anyway, continue on with your conversation.
So, wait, do you have anything in tactics, Tristan?
Tactics?
Yeah, knowledge tactics?
Knowledge tactics? Doesn't look like it.
Damn it. Alright, then Brian. I'm barking up the wrong retarded trait. So, is he looking anywhere specific right now? If I was to peek out of the side of my eye,
you see that periodically he glances around at the people here in the restaurant, but he's keeping his eyes mostly riveted to the wide doorway, which is kept open at the moment. But it's a big sliding door because on space stations, most rooms can be blocked off with blast doors in case of decompression. But right now he's just looking at the open doorway, and you see that the server had brought over looks like a simple container with probably water in it, or a transparent liquor. But and then you did notice, both of you, that when the guy set the drink down and the server started to ask something, and the man just waved him away. So he hasn't touched the drink yet either, but he's keeping his eyes on the open doorway.
Okay. I have an idea, but I can't metagame here. So, can I stealthily say something to him so that it's not noticed at all?
Well, the way I'm going to assume the one fellow's sitting over at a window, and you guys are you at the window too?
We're in a booth, so I think we're on the other side of the restaurant, correct? That's what I'm imagining. Like he went and he sat by himself in like a corner chair with a small table, right?
Yeah, so you essentially, when you walk in, on the right side are tables against the window with most of them have 3 or 4 seats, right? On the left side, immediately on the left, are going to be 3 or 4 booths, 3 along the wall to your left, and then one kind of in between that wall and the where the kitchen is. So there's a door right there, not far from you, that goes into the kitchen. Then there's the bar, in front of that, also running parallel to the bartender can look across the bar at the people who would be sitting on the stools there, and directly out the window as well. So there's probably about a 6-7 foot space, or a 2 meter space between the stools and those window the window seats. And then at the far end, near where the one fellow is sitting, are the 2 doors that lead into a restaurant.
Can I attempt to use my Jedi senses to sense the atmosphere?
Oh, okay. Roll a D20. This will be a wisdom check.
Unless, Tristan, do you want to roll for it? Or can we both roll for it? Because he's a Jedi too.
Yeah, you can both do it.
All right.
To get a feel for what's going on.
His aura.
His aura. His aura. I got a dirty 19.
I got a dirty 19.
Yes, we're brothers.
So, yeah, you can, using the sense feat, you can try to sense force. So you can see if you can get if you get an uneasy feeling, because of some unseen situation, or sense the presence of powerful emanations of the Force, dark side or light side.
Nice.
Do we get a bad feeling?
So you both got a 19. Most everything seems calm. You do, from his direction, you sense it's more of a, what would you call it? A stormy calm. Almost as if you just get this feeling that the individual is calm, but lurking under the surface, it's as if he's waiting in preparation.
Oh, Tristan, do you want to say it? You want to say the line?
What line?
No. Remember, like, anytime anything's about to happen in Star Wars, the person's like, or like the Jedi is like,
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Do you want to say it?
No.
All right, I'm gonna look over at him real fast, just quick, and then back at you, and I'm gonna say, I have a.
Now, if you want to say it like in one of the video games, Luke Skywalker says, I sense a disturbance in the Force, and Kyle Katarn looks at him and says, you always sense a disturbance in the Force.
You always sense a disturbance in the Force, Luke. Shut up. Yeah, so since he can't hear us, you were saying, right? So.
Oh no, you guys are at this point. You're probably a good 10 meters away from each other. The restaurant altogether from one end to the other is probably about 11 or 12 meters. So yeah, you're on totally opposite ends, and you can just see him where you're seated in the booth. You can just see him where he is, kind of around the bar.
Okay.
If there were a few more people sitting at the bar right now, you probably wouldn't be able to see him well at all.
Okay. So I have.
And this is about the time the server comes over with your food. He had come over with your food, but he steps by again and asks, "Do you need anything else?"
I look up at the server. and I want to ask, do you know that gentleman?
He glances at you for a second. He looks over at the one fellow. He says, "The one at the table or the one at the end of the bar?" You see, there's a Rhodian sitting at the end of the bar near the restrooms, who looks to be he's reading something on a data pad and eating something that you're fairly certain might be those crimson worms that because they seem to be wiggling as he's chewing on them. And after every bite, you notice the Rhodian kind of does this. He kind of takes a couple of breaths, but it doesn't stop him from eating.
I say, no, not the foolish one at the bar, the one at the table.
Oh, he says, I've not seen him before.
Do you get a lot of strange customers in here that maybe are unsavory?
Yeah, I think it frowns. His eyes do that little, his side eyelids blink. He says every now and then someone will come in here. He says, but station security usually takes care of it fairly well. We have some, it's a few droids, and we have 3 station security officers who they do a good job. I mean, they're all veterans from combat, so yeah.
Okay.
So we don't usually have too much trouble.
Okay, Tristan, I don't want to hog the scene. What do you want to do? I want you to.
I want to listen to you hog the scene.
Damn it! Stop letting me do the things I want to do. You do things you want to do too. Damn it!
I'm minding my business.
I hate that. I hate your
Minding your own business.
I hate your backseat approach. God damn it! It's. I mean, I hate it because I love it, but at the same time, yeah. Whatever. Anyways, so I look over to Cab, and Cab, I say to you, I say, I have an interesting idea, and I don't think the Master is going to be very happy with me. And I carefully unclip my lightsaber, and in a very non like, I'm not grasping for a weapon, I'm not trying to brandish it. I'm doing it underneath in the booth, and I'm slowly sliding it around to Cab.
Your lightsaber?
I say, I don't follow.
I say, I feel he is here for something very good. I have an idea to maybe figure out what it is. I want you to hold on to this, and in case something happens, then I might need it back, but if you could do me a favor, my cohort, if you could maybe watch my back, maybe watch the door, go lean over by it and look out like you're not watching what I'm doing, maybe, or whatever you feel like.
I just sigh. Fine, I'll take the lightsaber, but I'm taking my Nerf burger.
Yes, you can take your food to go. It's fine.
I'll hold on to his lightsaber and
take. Oh wait, sorry. Go ahead.
And I'll take my burger and take a walk.
I'll throw down some credits on the table. How much are the credits?
Okay. The meal is 2 credits apiece, so 4 credits total.
Okay, I throw down 10, and I give him. I give the waiter a little nod.
Well, he looks at the 10 credits and whoa. So you can probably throw down a 10 credit piece. And he picks up the little. They're almost rectangular, but then they have like the corners are clipped off just a little bit, so technically they're octagonal in shape, but they look rectangular from a distance. Well, he picks up the 10 credit piece. Thank you, sir.
And then I start slowly walking over to the gentleman at the table.
I'm actually gonna stand at the doorway. He wanted me to watch, eat my burger.
Okay. So this red-skinned Sith eating a burger in the doorway.
Just casually looking out into the crowd.
Yeah.
It's funny because, like, I think all Sith have resting fury face.
Resting angry bitch face, yeah. They're angry about everything.
I mean, yeah, the because they tend to, even the Tristan, I sent you a picture, like, what your mom looks like and all that. So it's like even the the attractive women still look like like an evil queen or something like that. So yeah. All right. Well, you're approaching. Well, you're out there, so you're at the because of where the restaurant is. You're on the edge of the station. So there's another window out in the large, fairly wide corridor that you can see their cab. You can see the station has turned enough now that it's mostly facing outer space at the moment. So the planet is barely visible now. It'll be gone in a minute or two. And across the way from the restaurant is a clothier. So you can get all kinds of clothing over there, tailor and seamstress and all that. And from down the corridor to the center of the station, as it does spin slowly, the center of the station has a little fountain in the center, which is dry at the moment. It's not running. You can see there's a few people milling about there, but and you do see, I'll go ahead and show you, you do see a couple of people wandering this way. They look like mechanics, not your mechanic, but a couple of mechanics are wandering towards the restaurant, it looks like. So, and you do see another individual approaching the restaurant who can share this in a little bit. Let's see. There's Treestand. Okay.
Even if you shared in chat, I can't really open it at this moment. I got so many fucking pictures.
Yeah. Well, you'll see it in a little bit. But there you go.
Wow.
Yeah. That you see that individual is approaching, has armor on underneath of what looks kind of like almost an armored trench coat or duster. And is approaching. Oh yeah, also at the station here, people are allowed to keep their, as long as they're hand weapons, meaning anything that can be held in one hand, people aren't allowed to be walking around with full-on blaster rifles or sniper rifles, and no grenades. So they do check you for that. Security does check for that. But yeah, anybody's allowed. So you guys are allowed your lightsabers, and very few people deny Jedi, lightsabers. But at least in the Republic, and then of course people have their pistols. So you can see as he's moving this way towards you, he definitely has a pistol on his hip, and then he has a much smaller, what you call a little holdout blaster. It'd be about the size of, like for us, like a 22, 22 revolver. He has that on his chest, and a little holster. So,
Okay.
but yeah, he's still about 25, 30 paces away. But just from the way he's walking, you can tell he's not going to the clothier across the corridor. So, Jasper, so you were walking to the relatively plain-looking fellow. He's not. He has light brown hair. He's just a couple of days stubble on his upper lip and chin, but the rest of his face is shaven. A fairly average-looking human. The sort of person who would blend into the background if he was. For most people, it's just you happen to notice that his shin greaves were a little different. But as you approach him, his gaze flicks to you for just a moment, then back to the doorway, and then are you walking towards him or towards the restroom?
I'm sort of walking towards the restroom, but as I get close to his table, I'm then going to veer over to it and then sit in the seat right next to it.
Well, you see, he just looks at you. There's no narrowing of his eyes or anything like that, but just hold on. I have have a few hundred dice. Hold on, but they're all the way across the room.
All the dice in the world, but no dice at your fingertips. How dare he not have the dice within his fingers, within his grasp? As the dungeon master, what a failure! What?
Dang.
Well, we just the other day we purchased 6 new sets of dice, so 42 more dice. So we were like, and we were just.
I have one bag of dice, and I barely ever can have it on me. Like, I'm not one to judge.
Yeah.
We've got a fat bag of dice, and I barely fucking can use it.
You should get what Laura got me one for Christmas, and then she got another one for my birthday. They look like it's the same size as a pocket watch. I collect pocket watches too.
Yeah, you told us about it.
Yeah, the metal dice. Yeah, I have a couple of them now that they have all kinds. There's and they have carvings or engravings on the front that and they're nice and metal. There's like a dragon. I have one with basically an illithid head on it. Or Cthulhu or an octopus, whatever you want to say, but it looks like an illithid head. So, but yeah, the metal dice, and they're really small, so you can just carry that in your pocket wherever you go. So, and the dice, they're really tiny, but they're functional metal dice, so it's nice. All right. Jasper, what is your wisdom score?
It would be a +1, good sir.
Okay. There is no change in his expression, but you definitely get a slight feeling from him of, I won't say, it's not quite animosity, but it's definitely a little stronger spike in his wariness, however. And he doesn't say anything either. He's just looking at you with his also nondescript, just gray eyes.
Oh wow.
So,
okay. So I put both arms on the table, crossing my fingers together, and I was just like, and Callum says, it's like, whew, that took a while, but the job's done.
He looks at you. I think you have me mistaken with someone else.
No, you're the one who hired me. I waited for you over there, but you didn't come up and talk to me.
He lifts his eyebrow. I hire you?
Yes. You hired me for work.
Yeah, you definitely have me mistaken for someone else.
No, you are the Mandalorian, are you not?
He frowns a little. Mandalorian. Do you see me in the armor?
Well, I don't judge. I've met a few Mandalorians in my time, and if you don't say it right, they get mad at you.
So, well, I didn't hire anybody, so maybe you're a bit into your cups, Jedi.
Jedi? Me? Oh, you mean with these? And I look down at my robes, and I say, nah, I'm a mechanic.
Well, I'm going to ask you to step away while I contemplate what I want to have for my lunch.
Oh, it's on me. More than happy to pay. It's my bad if I've misunderstood. I thought you were the Mandalorian I talked to. Maybe you weren't.
I'm just a simple pilot.
A pilot? Fascinating. So you're not a passenger, or piloting a ship? Is it a big ship, a little ship?
No, he's just staring at you. He doesn't say anything.
I say, come on, don't be such a sore thumb. We've got this together. And I throw down 50 credits in the palm of my hand, and I just kind of gently tap it on the table. Then I say, here we go. This will do us for many rounds and a nice conversation.
Said it. I don't drink alcohol.
Oh, rounds of food, my friend. I'm intentionally being loud too, because I want Cab to be able to hear.
Right. Okay. So, Cab. Yes, the two mechanics come in. They go sit at the bar, and the one alien he sees about 5 or 6 steps away. His pace slows just a little bit when he sees you, and when he goes, he falters just for a moment. Doesn't stop mid-stride, but almost. And then he keeps walking. But you notice when he goes in, like I said, the doorway, it's relatively wide. It's probably about almost 3 meters wide. He gives you a good distance when he walks around you. Like the two mechanics just walked past you within, a half a pace, really fairly close. This guy, when he steps in, he almost brushes the opposite end of the open doorway, the door frame.
Yeah. Pardon me. I try to get his attention.
He turns to look at, turns his large head to look at you. Jasper, you would not see this because your back would be to the door, but well, he looks at you, and for just a moment, you see his small eyes open a little wider, and oh
God! I wiped the side of my mouth from whatever was on my burger. I have no idea what you said, but I believe your funny-looking human friends are expecting you. I nod over to the table.
Well, you see
they're sitting in.
Yeah, the alien, he looks over there, looks back at you, then you see his eyes narrow a little bit, and
can I just say that I
trying to read
you and I just basically turned into space club owner / space bouncer. We just incorporated ourselves into that role.
I don't actually know what the plan here is, so I'm just making it up as I go along.
You think I know? I'm trying to just figure out who this guy is.
This was your plan.
The idea is I was trying to fool him and make him think I was doing it. Maybe he had someone doing his job for him, and there was a 50-50 chance. There's a 50-50 chance that was happening. Well, guess what? I did the wrong 50. So therefore, now we're stuck with this. So this is just what's happening. And you know what? I accept it. I'm rolling with it.
He's probably just a pilot. He's just picked up these greaves somewhere, just thought they looked cool. And
you know what?
What the hell?
Yeah, David could be screwing with us so bad right now. He's this guy. He looks important. Oh wait, he's not. Sorry to make you guys waste 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, Jasper, roll a d20, and Treestand, trying to determine the mood or feeling of someone, or especially body language of an alien species you've never seen before, is of course going to be reasonably difficult or perhaps impossible.
I have hit.
But you do.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you do see his eyes widen just a little bit, and rather than stepping into the bar, you see he actually his eyes narrow a little more, and then you see he pulls, looks like a small data pad out from a pocket, and he's consulting it very quickly, making certain that you cannot see the screen, by the way.
While he's occupied doing that, can I do move object to tug on Jasper's robe, the back part?
But first,
roll
yes.
Actually,
yeah. He rolls that, but I just want to let you know I rolled a d20, a solid 20.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
Oh, okay. Okie dokie.
Not 20, baby. Give me the world. Give me gold. Give me what? All of it.
Give me everything.
All right, Tristan, you just need to make a move object skill check
All right.
and spend.
He's
it'll
perfect up.
cost one. Yeah, it'll cost 1 vitality point.
On vitality, let me do that first,
If
real
you
quick.
could, you'd have a plus 20 in it. I fucking swear you would.
I didn't put that many points into it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I have the max amount of points I get. Literally, it's 7. It's like move object is 7.
I got
And
8,
if you-
15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only need a 10 to do normal stuff, so so you will do that. Just so you know, a move object, this is in the skill description, but move object, unless you're using it as an attack, it only counts as a move action. So you could move something as well as attack.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Nice.
You
Yeah.
could like disarm someone.
That would be counted as an attack.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Yeah, trying to yank it out of their hand. Or remember in Empire Strikes Back when Darth Vader on Cloud City is flinging all those objects at Luke?
Yep.
That would be an attack. Yeah.
Okay.
But Darth Vader's much higher level, so he gets more than one attack around.
Here's a douche, man. Let's go ahead and get
Just a bit, yeah, just a bit.
Okay.
You know, I mean, he's ordered the total destruction of like entire continents. You know, from orbital, orbital fire, things like that. So yeah, he's done some nasty stuff. So yeah, you feel your robes get tugged on just a little bit, and just even from your peripheral vision, you can tell no one's there though.
Okay. What did I get from the nat 20?
You do see the fellow to whom you're speaking, he does glance past you for just a moment, and you do see just a hint of almost like recognition in his gaze, but then he looks back at you.
Okay.
He said he's keeping his expressions are very, very neutral. Most people, they give things away a lot with facial tics or just an eyebrow lifted or just narrowing the eyes a hint or a twitch in their cheek or something. This guy, you would almost think he's almost a droid with realistic looking flesh on him, the way he's reacting and speaking, his tone and just everything. But you do see a hint of, his eyes open just a little bit as if he sees someone he recognizes, or not so much surprise, but it's just the feeling that you're getting.
I feel that tug, and I turn and I don't see anyone. So I feel like, would I know?
Well, you do see Cab is in the doorway, and now the alien. There is an alien in the doorway as well. I will show you what that fellow looks like. He's on a data pad at the moment. By the way, these are AI, so you can host them without it upsetting anyone.
Nice.
Because AI renderings, I won't say art, AI renderings cannot be copyrighted yet because there's not enough human input to them. So therefore, still currently, Library of Congress says you cannot copyright AI images. So no matter what anybody says, even if they sell them, they cannot copyright them, and therefore they cannot peg you for, or get a copyright infringement or anything like that. That has a different term now, or different meaning now than what it used to.
Tristan, dang it.
Okay, there you go.
Wow, this guy's like an elegant alien, though.
Oh, and he is he's about 2.2 meters tall, so he's or in feet, dude's probably about 6'8", 6'9".
Okay.
Dang. I'm looking up to him.
I say, look at him, and I little bit of shock is in my eyes as I kind of blink a bunch just to double check what I'm seeing. And then I turn back to the gentleman, and I say, listen, I have a great opportunity for you, a job. I have so many things I want to do. How much?
He says, I'm not for hire like that.
Well, you said you're a pilot.
I'm just going... Yes, and I have my own ship, but I am not for hire. You need to find someone else.
Oh, you're mistaken. You are the one. I sense it in all of my being. I know you are the one. You are the one who can take me where I need to go.
I do not have enough space to carry passengers.
Maybe we can rent a ship.
Well, his drink is still untouched. You see, he stands up and he says, well, since you offered, I'll let you pay for my water.
As he goes to stand up, can I say, oh, no, hold on a sec, barkeep. And as I do that, I want to sneakily flick my hand wrist to make the drink fall in his lap.
All right. Let's see.
I want to use the move object to make it sneakily do that.
Okay, you could also try...
Okay, what?
You could try sleight of hand if you have that skill as well. Okay, well... All right, yeah, you can't do it untrained, so go ahead and do the move object, roll a d20, and add your move object skill check to it.
Will it be sneaky, though? Since I'm trying to do it with like a flick of the wrist?
We're going to have you make it.
I do have stealth.
Roll a d20. We're going to have you do a stealth for this one. Will probably be a sleight of hand, but still, it's.
Can I use a
Jedi Master Thorm? One of the things you've noticed, your Jedi Master, unlike a lot of them, he doesn't gesture at all when he does things. He just he will just sit there. I mean, you've seen him like sitting there, and another one of the Jedi Masters challenged him. Like just to a hand-to-hand fight. Like for example, Terras Kasi. If you know what that is, that's Martial. There was a video game for it, in fact, Masters of Terras Kasi. And usually what happens when, if you want to fight, you will, at least the temple where you guys learned, their academy, you would stomp your foot twice, or if you were fighting with a staff, you'd tap it twice, something like that. Anyway, the moment you do that, though, the fight's on. I mean, the moment you do it, right? So if someone could be 20 feet away and you hit it, and the person you challenge, I mean, the fight's on right then, so they could throw something at you, or whatever. So you've seen Jedi Master Thorm sitting there calmly, arms crossed, and another one of the Jedi Masters, he was wanting to fight him with staves. Like I said, just a basic hand-to-hand. Hit his staff on the ground twice, and Thorm, without even looking, suddenly the guy's staff just smacked, holding it in his hand, and he made it smack the fellow master right in his head. So with no movement at all, no expression, anything. So Jedi Master Thorm is the kind of guy who he doesn't gesture. Most people do, and he tries to get that drill that into his apprentices not to do it, but it's very difficult, and so you guys still gesture.
Okay, so I got a. Can I use a force point?
Oh, yeah, if you want to.
Will that boost my result? Because I got a 12.
Everything, when you use a force point, it gives you a plus 2d6 on all your rolls from the moment you start it until your round is ended, basically.
So I can use it now?
So, yeah.
Okay, so an extra 2d6? Holy shit. On all of my rolls. Holy shit!
Roll. So, yeah.
I got a 12 plus 11, so I got 23. 23 stealth, my boy.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, you managed to do this with barely even moving a finger. Jedi Master Thorm would be pleased with you. Now use your move object skill check, and of course you're going to get to add a 2d6 on that.
Oh, is this just for force skills?
No. When you use a force point, it's on any rolls at all. So whether it's a saving throw, an attack, to hit, damage, everything that you have to roll in that round. So if you used a force point, used a move object to, I don't know, slam a door shut, so some enemies can't get to you, but then you're turning to the other few enemies that you're going to fight. Then you take a swing with your lightsaber, and then you have to also make a saving throw because someone is, I don't know, tossed a gas grenade at your feet. You're going to get that force point bonus to moving the object to close the door, to make your attack. Let's assume you hit the bonus 2d6 on the damage, and then the bonus 2d6 on your saving throw versus poison. All of those, you would get the plus 2d6 for the whole round. So it is potentially, that's way more powerful than the other games with your action points or whatever, where you just get it on one roll.
I got a 19 on my move object.
Okay. Well, you could move up to 500 kilos, which is around 1,200 pounds, if you wanted to, for 4 vitality points. Or you can just move anything up to 5 kilos for 1 vitality point. So you can easily move the class.
Oh, I have to use a vitality point?
Yeah, all 4 skills use vitality, but you regain your vitality points reasonably quickly.
I don't have vitality on here.
Oh, well, let's take care of that real quick.
Okay. I just need the calculation for that, and then I will...
All right, let's see. So get a D10 and roll it 3 times. You can reroll once.
D at the... Ooh, I gotta reroll that. Roll it 4 times, you said?
3 times.
Four, 6, and 4, so that's 14.
24. What is your constitution?
My con is 13, so plus 1.
Okay, so you're going to have 30 vitality even.
Okay, so...
And remember, your wound points, I think you took the toughness feat, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, so and your constitution's a 13, so you really have 16 wound points as well.
Yeah, I had that.
Okay,
so I have 20. I'm using 1 of my vitality, and there we go. All right.
Yep. All right.
I spilled the drink in his lap.
Well, another thing is PCs and major NPCs have vitality points. Regular NPCs do not have vitality points. So that's another thing that sets you apart. So when you attack other people, they're just taking damage straight off their wounds. So that's another thing that sets PCs apart because you have vitality points. But oops. Yeah, you easily knock the glass of water over and it splashes, getting all over his pants. A little bit on his shirt and all over his pants. Of course, mostly in the crotch. So when he stands up, he looks down, and he's son of a neck. And that's the first time you've heard him any real inflection in his voice. And then he looks back at Callum, and then he sighs. It's like a long-suffering, slightly irritated sigh.
Oh no! What happened?
He looks at the glass, looks down at his pants, looks back at you. What's your play here, pal?
I say, whoa, easy now. Listen, I have money on the table. I'm offering you a job. You stood up too fast, made your drink spill. Not my fault.
He says, I have a one-man ship. Unless you can fit someone in my cargo hold that is less than 1 meter square, you're out of luck.
And I put my hand to my chin.
And I don't... And he says, a Jawa might fit in there, and I'm definitely not transporting a Jawa. So, I'm leaving. I'm not to be hired, and I don't know what your problem is, but I don't feel like socializing with anyone.
I say like, oh, well, that's not fair. We only just started talking. What if I buy you some concessions? I buy you rations, food, maybe.
Well, he takes about a half step closer to you, so he's probably within about just a half meter of you. And he says, I'm going to explain this, and I only say things once. I do not repeat myself. Stay away from me. Or you're going to take a trip to the infirmary. Well, then he's stepping around you. Unless you do something, he's stepping around you. It looks like he's walking for the doorway.
I stand up, and I say to him as he starts to walk, I don't know if he's going to stop when I say it, and I say, you might want to be careful what business you are attempting to operate here. I'm only looking out for your well-being. You might be in danger.
Well, he turns his head a little bit to the left, not looking at you, but so he's looking out the window, but you can tell he's turning his head a little bit so he can hear a little bit better. And he slowed his pace for a moment, then he continues. Tristan.
Yes.
Cab, or your full name, Cabernet. You see the alien, when the one fellow stands up, he's looking at the data pad, and you see the one fellow standing up, and then he glances to the side at you, and he says something to you in that language again. Then he looks down at the he looks down at the data pad, and he says, "Speak basic."
I nod, yes.
You Sith?
Why, yes.
Well, he glances at, and then you see what happens. The water splashes over the one fellow's crotch.
I go, oh no.
Yeah, and Callum is
So
you can hear him talking to the guy.
Still has a wet laugh as he's walking around.
So you hear Callum talking to him. Oh, what happened to you? Anyway, but the alien, he looks at you and he says, "Do you want to buy something?"
I just kind of tilt my head. Like what?
Well, he motions for you with his hand. You can see the fingers of this alien's hand. He has a total of 6 digits, right? And the digits, the way they move more like tentacles, so they can move in any direction. It's a little disconcerting when he makes the motion. He takes a few steps out of the doorway, closer, across the corridor and close to the outer transparent steel window.
He's moving to show me something?
Well, he made a motion with his strange tentacle-fingered hands and or tendrils, and he stepped over towards the window out in the corridor.
Yeah, I'll follow him.
Okay. He says, "You are Sith. And so I have something maybe a Sith would want."
I'm intrigued.
he says. On the planet below, I could sell you the information as to exactly where this is. I have pictures. You just have to secure it for yourself. There are some primitives who have the object.
And the price?
500 credits. But I think that you would like... Here, I will tell you. He says something in his language again, but then he shakes his head and he says, Sith Holocron.
Oh no. Oh my.
Let me write that down.
I want some.
Let's see. Either one of you could make a... Well, unless you already know. If you yourselves know, that is Tristan and Jasper, I'm not going to make you roll because the term holocron is relatively well known. So if you know what he's saying, then
Yeah.
It's not like a map or something, is it?
No, not
It's like
exactly.
historical
I'll
facts
roll.
of Sith.
Holocrons are used by Jedi. There's you've probably seen a couple, like in the academy where you were trained. There would have been probably at least one, maybe two of them. They're very delicate crystal lattice work objects, usually about the size of your fist, maybe a little bit larger, and they're often globes or cubes. The Sith ones tend to go a little more like pyramid shaped or something, but what they do is they contain an essence of a Jedi spirit, essentially. Not the whole thing, but just an essence of it. And they basically are the equivalent of Jedi artificial intelligences that are interactive and can train people in the use of the Force and Jedi ways and histories, etc., etc. But they act as if they are. It's a little. When I say holocron, a little hologram comes up, and they act as if they're intelligent, and they can converse with you and in real time. But yeah, they're extremely valuable and difficult to make. So
I'm gonna pay the man, but have you sold this information to anyone else?
no.
All right, I pay the man.
I want to say
Okay.
I'm trailing now. I'm kind of trying to closely follow this man as he started to walk away from me. Like I'm like right behind him.
Okay. Well, yeah, you take maybe 3 steps that way, and he stops, turns around. If you don't stop following me, you're going to find out very quickly that I'm not just fast as a pilot.
I say, easy now. My friend is not in here anymore. I don't know if you noticed he went through the door, and that's the exact direction I am going.
Well, yeah, his expression goes back to the very neutral, and he just takes a step aside. Be my guest.
And then I'm gonna say, and for your information, I'm going to be quick, but as you say before, if you think I'm a Jedi, I might be a little faster. And I walk away.
Okay. Cab. This fellow, he pulls out a little data disk that can be slipped into any data pad in most computers. He slips out a little data disk and he hands it to you. After you pay him, he says, "All the information, including the pictures and a video, are there."
All right.
He says, you did not see me or hear of me. Good day to you.
I just nod and stow the data pad or data disk.
All right. Then the alien, he moves quickly away, back the way he came, towards the center of the station. At this point, Jasper, you see just a little bit of like cab outside in the corridor, and that tall alien, they must have been speaking, and you see the tall alien is now moving briskly down the corridor away from the restaurant.
I do the same thing back to Cab that he did to me, and I kind of force pull on him a little.
Okay. I'll just roll a D20.
Plus my... Do I do the move object? Yeah.
Yeah, it's your skill with
Is this
move
considered the same round, or is this not the same round?
Oh, no, this has been a couple rounds.
Okay.
Yeah, easily.
So I got a 11.
That's all. Well, you only need a 10, so there you go. But Callum, yeah, you would feel your robes get tugged on. And, well, your clothing gets tugged on. And you happen to see when the one fellow has stepped aside and Callum is speaking to him. You can't quite hear what they're saying because they're speaking quietly, but both of you happen to see this fellow, the nondescript, gray-eyed, brown-haired guy. He glances out to the corridor, and then you see for a moment his forehead creases just a little bit in a frown, and you see his eyes dart around a little bit, and regardless of what he said to you, Jasper, you see he now walks briskly to the doorway. As if he's looking for someone.
And I give Callum like a little and I point towards the dock area, wherever our ship is, and I say, and I'm like, as I'm walking your direction.
I'm waiting for this guy to leave, and then we can talk.
Yeah, he steps up past you, glances down the corridor. At this point, like I said, that the alien was moving fairly briskly. He's, let's see. Oh yeah, you see the alien just moves out of sight as the one fellow steps out of the restaurant, and then you see he continues briskly down the corridor, maybe walking a little faster than what he was just a moment ago.
Mm-hmm. And then when Callum approaches, I will say, well, what have you learned?
I say, I learned that gentleman is a solo pilot out here, so I'm assuming he's some kind of bounty hunter, and this might not be the best situation for us. Our master would be very mad if we cause problems. What were you doing?
Well, I don't know if that gentleman and the one I spoke to were involved at all. But I bought some information, and I flashed the data disk. Apparently, to a Sith Holocron.
Did you just say a Sith Holocron?
Indeed.
I have not heard of Sith Holocron in... Let me do history check real quick.
Yes, roll a d20.
Oh, it was cocked. It was a 20, but it was cocked. Okay. No, oh, wait. Still?
You honoring the cock?
No, I can't honor the cock, but I tell you what, I got a dirty 24 still.
All right, yes. Sith holocrons, they are dangerous because just like Jedi, Sith will, whatever process is used that they make the master of the Force, in this case a Master Sith, they tend to, at least a couple of the stories you've heard, they tend to act in the beginning, depending on who it is. One, they act like what a Sith Master would, or if a Force-sensitive individual who's not a Sith gets a hold of one, they often are insidiously led towards the dark side, because a Sith has no problem acting like just a normal Force teacher in the beginning, and then prodding, a little poking here and there, and somebody does something bad, and then after a while, suddenly they have a new Sith apprentice, as opposed to somebody who could have been a light side wielder.
Okay. I widen my eyes, and I look at Callum, I look at Cab, and I say, no, this is not good. Where is this man?
I turn around.
Yeah, he wasn't visible, just as Callum was stepping out. So now he and the pilot are gone. Have no idea.
Well, according to him, I had not seen him.
We need to go find him, and we need to find him now, and then we need to take him into custody and tell the master.
If you say so.
Hand me my lightsaber, please.
I handed you your lightsaber.
I sort of have it in my hand, and I say we must move quickly now. Which way?
I did not. I did. After we parted ways, I did not keep an eye on him.
How many directions can we go from here?
Well, you would go out to the central area where the non-functioning fountain would be, and kind of like the spokes of wheel, you have 6 corridors to go down. Let's see, 3 of them go to different docking bays. One of them goes to a where quarters are, basically a hotel area. Down here, you have the restaurant, the clothier. There's also a supplier in the corridor you're in right now, and a parts and hardware shop as well. And then another one of the corridors is for station staff as well as security.
Okay.
So
I look.
So you have your stores, residents, station staff and security, and the other 3 are for, like I said, for docking bays.
Okay, I look to you and I say, does that have directions to the Holocron?
It does.
Right, then
allegedly.
Let's go. Let us tell the master.
Very yeah, at once.
We are rushing.
Well, I figured, yeah. Your character reminds me just a little bit if the Borderlands bus driver guy had a son.
Marcus.
Yeah.
No refunds.
Yep. Walt Hunter. All right. So are you going to your ship then?
Yes.
All right. Well, that would basically be the corridor directly. So you would walk around the fountain and continue straight into that docking bay. Your ship and another slightly larger freighter are the only ones docked at the moment. So you step through the umbilical, enter your ship, and of course your communications array is fine, so that's not a problem. You see X2 is standing he's standing in the main corridor, and you see he has a cord running out of his chest plate, and he's connected to the computer. He turns to look at you as the 2 of you step in.
think the first thing I would do is see if I got scammed or not, and see if this actually shows
Okay.
directions.
I'm going to grab a pad or put it in the computer.
Yeah.
And then I'm heading off to message Master Thorm.
Okay. So you go to the you can make use of the comms from the tiny galley that you have, or from the cockpit.
I'm going to the cockpit.
Okay. And then X2, as you step by, whoops. Then, oops, darn it. Okay, you don't even need to make a computer use check, so that's nice and easy. So you sit down in the seat. And you open a channel. There's a specific channel that generally you would use. It's like or different frequencies, and there are hundreds of them. So, hey, if you guys remember using the codec on Metal Gear Solid, like that. So, you have a specific frequency. So you're calling him, and Cab, are you going to use a data pad or the computer?
Me. Okay, yeah.
To check the data disk.
Cab.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm speaking to you, Tristan.
Sorry. What am I putting it in?
You get to decide.
That's what she said. No, that's what I was asking. If you're going to use one of the data pads that's here on the ship, or are you going to use the ship computer to investigate with? Okay. All right. All right. So you're putting that in there, loading it up, and yes, you see that there are some files on here. Callum is trying to, or Cab and Cal, right? Cabernet and Callum are. Callum is trying to contact Master Thorm. You see there are a number of files on here. One is a video file. You can see looks like a few photo files, and then another one that looks like some sort of word file.
Let's do the video first.
Okay. Indeed, a video comes up, and when he said primitives, it looks like a relatively normal settlement. You don't see them using repulsor lifts or anything like that, but it looks like a small, when I say small settlement, I mean like maybe 25, 30 people. And just from living very rustically is what it looks like. But they have, there's a few buildings around, and he zooms in when you see that there's what looks like a little central building, almost like a little longhouse. And inside of that, from the direction where presumably the alien that you were speaking to took the video, he zooms in, and you can see inside is an altar. And on the altar in this, so it's like a little, probably a meeting hall / spiritual center or something like that. But on this altar or platform, you can see a few objects, but one is has a faint glow to it. Looks like one of our four-sided dice. So a four-sided object, probably a good 12 centimeters on a side, and it has a faint reddish glow to it. And it looks like it's made of delicate crystal with a number of odd designs on it. The crystal itself ranges in color from kind of an amber color to fading into a black in some spots. So, but yeah, there's definitely a red glow coming from this object.
All right. That looks like the holocron, and I make a note of that, and then open the Word document.
Essentially, it's just this fellow's notes to himself. It seems like that he was given a description of what he was supposed to be looking for, checking any of these planets, because it was known that some years ago, a Sith operative had left the Empire and had taken some artifacts with him. And thus far, no one had been able to hunt him down, but it was known that he took Sith Holocron as well as the lightsaber to someone from the Imperial family. And as well as a person, he took one of the a distant relative, but a cousin of the Emperor. Apparently, a kind of a forbidden love sort of thing. A common Sith apprentice and an Imperial, and they had left and once again taken the holocron, and it was believed that they had come to the Mornay sector. And so, he has some notes for himself too, that he's hoping that it must have been before he took the video. He's hoping that he will find it because he knows that there are a number of people hunting for this.
Okay.
And also that he has been secured his service by someone named Rieger.
Rieger. That is who I think hired him.
Yeah, that's from the note there. Yeah, that his services were secured by someone named Rieger.
Okay. Got that down too.
And the pictures are those are stills of like one of them is an even closer than the video, a closer still of the object, and then a few pictures of the individuals who look as if they're armed in that small community with probably no more than 25, 30 people. Their weapons seem to be relatively primitive as well. They're not blasters. In fact, they look like they're probably projectile weapons. So like the sort of stuff we would use. But so projectile weapons and a couple of crossbows. So not powered crossbows either. The kind that just shoot normal quarrels or bolts.
And as soon as I get a clearer picture of what I've got, I'm going to look for Callum, and so we can maybe be a little clearer on what we found.
Yeah. All right. Callum, you spend a few minutes trying to get a hold of your master. He either is not in his ship, or doesn't have his comm on, or he's too far away, because you guys have little comm links, right? As long as your comm link, like the little handheld comm link, as long as you're within, they have a range of about 15 to 20 clicks, depending on terrain. As long as you're that close to your ship, the ship also makes a signal, so he should be able to get it. So, but he's not answering, which means he's either more than 15 or 20 kilometers away from his ship, or he has his comm link off.
And I try to raise the other master. What's her name?
Trelina Byrne. All right. So you switch over to the frequency that she is on. Same thing. No answer. And unlike you guys, they don't have droids with them, so can't even have a droid to
what's our
answer
droid's
for
name
them.
Again?
You can call him whatever you want, but he's called, his official He's just Jedi Droid X2. So JDX2. Most people just call him X2, but you can call him whatever you like.
I call for X2. X2!
All right.
Not very young, sirs. How may I assist you?
Prepare the ship immediately. We need to do a low atmosphere dive.
Well, he does tell you, he says, I must inform the maintenance crew. They are working on the ship outside.
Do we have any smaller vessels in the ship?
Yeah, you have 2 escape pods.
How well does the escape pod maneuver?
But yeah. Not terribly well.
Okay. All right, I go.
Yeah, the escape pod, you can, they have some small attitude nozzles on them, but yeah, you aim in a direction and then it's a lot of hope.
I go find Cap real quick.
Okay. Well, you probably meet each other in the corridor there.
Okay.
As X2 is in the cockpit, getting the ship going, and you can hear X2 is communicating with the maintenance crew outside.
Any luck?
I say no. No, both masters they are not available. This is on us. This is on us, and we must stop whatever's about to happen. This is not good, my friend. If we don't stop whoever's trying to get this holocron, this could unleash a devastating force in the cosmos.
Yeah, I'm sure we can handle it.
I scratch the back of my head, and Callum says, the ship is still under repair. It's not ready to go. We might need to go find it now. So maybe someone can transport us down there.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah. Maybe, hopefully... Yeah, X2 can hold it down here.
X2!
I'm sure, yeah.
I yell for X2.
Yeah. Well, he steps down the corridor towards you.
The maintenance crew strongly advises against leaving, but as we are only entering the atmosphere under minimal thrust, I'm confident that we should be fine.
Oh. Well, now that he says that, I mean, I still almost want to go hire another thing to take us down there just to, save the possible damage to the ship. Just be like, X2, here's a gun, guard the ship.
Yeah, no. I believe in him.
Well, X2 doesn't, he's a Jedi droid, meaning he's trained to fight you guys if necessary for training.
Oh yeah, right? I forgot. He's like the Force Unleashed one.
Yeah, he basically has a lightsaber that he can use. He can, and from out of one arm, or the other one is a training lightsaber. Yeah, he can also emit electrical pulses to essentially stun the hell out of people. So, but it's electrical, so it's like zapping someone with a stun gun rather than a stun blast, or from a weapon. So when he hits somebody, it's not a pleasant thing at all.
How much longer until the ship is repaired?
Anyway. He tilts his head, and that's his sign of thinking. He tells you a minimum of 10 hours.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I immediately look over at you, Cab, and I say, should we go search the dock?
A different ship it is.
Ship. We'll go find another ship. Hold down, protect the ship. Watch your back, X2.
Affirmative, sirs.
All right, and maybe
And we
we
did.
did. And I say to you, Kevin, as we're kind of starting to rush out, I say maybe we'll get lucky and we'll come across one of those two. I
Yeah.
don't like the look of that Mandalorian man who was in there, so hopefully we can stop him before he possibly gets a hold of the other guy. All right, so we go running off. We're looking for the 3 dock areas. We're looking in them. We're looking for anybody who might be optionally hiring a ship to go down to the planet, and then also just keeping an eye out for the crowd to see if we can spot either of those two.
All right. Let's see. What are your spot checks, gentlemen?
My spot check is a healthy +4.
Mine be a big +2.
Okay. All right. Well, you're glancing at the crowds. You know it's not down this at this orbital dock, so you're going to have either the one at the left or the right. But you don't see any. There's only a few people out here, sitting around near the fountain. Under the semi-harsh white lights shining above. So if you're wanting to check out the ships, that would be either left and right. And then there's also, like I said, the corridor for the residents, or the temporary residents. And then the corridor that's going to lead to security and station residents.
Okay. Do we want to divide and conquer, or do we just want to just do one or the other?
Let's just go beg. Let's just both go and beg someone to take us down.
No.
Beg
We'll
someone.
convince someone that we are Jedi on an important mission, and we could probably get it gratis.
Right.
Yeah, let's do it. And plus, you're scary, so I mean, you could probably intimidate him.
Well,
I wouldn't encourage that. I'm not saying for you to intimidate him.
yeah.
But so let's go.
Okay.
You're having a fucking walking raptor with you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hold on just a moment.
So when you said Sith, do you mean like a Dathomirian?
Say what now?
Well, he said he's a Sith. Is that our actual race? Like the original Sith?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
so
yeah.
he's a full actual Sith. Okay.
Yeah, here, I'll show you what a full-blown Sith looks like. Unless you have a picture of your
I kinda
character or
already
something.
know what a full-blown
equivalent
Sith
to-
I haven't generated
Neither
one
have I.
yet, or
Yeah. Okay.
But I've seen them on SWTOR. They're like Sith purebloods.
Yeah. Red-skinned. Yeah. Okay. There aren't any in Star Wars, the Old Republic. In either of those games, there aren't any in there, right?
No.
No, I've only seen them in the
it's
MMO.
just
Okay.
See, in the Knights of the Old Republic, that's still like a few hundred years, or even like 1,000 years after the Sith species died out.
Yeah.
Because this was after Korriban was destroyed.
Yeah. But there's likely a few purebloods still out there somewhere. But, yeah. Here you go. Here's a slew of Sith.
Yes, and in fact, so there was a Dark Lord from this period of time who was that guy. So like Old Republic, he was a Sith like that.
Oh yeah, I watched all the videos about a month and a half ago, just for. I mean, I'd seen him before, but I was just watching him again. I'm like, oh yeah, that guy.
Old Republic, I believe he's in that one. Not nice.
Yep. So, okay.
So we're begging. Or, well, actually, we're convincing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You do see, yeah, you see that there's a freighter here. But which corridor are you going down? The left one or the right one, actually?
Let's go left.
Okay. Even though you can't go wrong going right.
Right ain't right.
Okay. Oops. Yeah, the one of the things with the Sith purebloods, by the way, is as Cab knows from your parents telling you, and then I don't know if would you have shared some of this info with your fellow apprentice here?
Oh
Callum?
yeah, I'd share it with everyone. With my master.
Yeah, you've been apprentices together with Thorm since you guys were basically 0 level people. So, all right. So, pureblood Sith tend to be, even though one of them is not the Emperor, the pureblood Sith are still considered. Pretty much all of them are considered nobles as far as the Sith Empire is concerned. So they're generally shown respect, deference, or a healthy amount of fear. So essentially, Callum, you're traveling around with somebody who would be probably the equivalent of a baron amongst the Sith Empire if he were to wander back there.
Interesting.
So, but his parents chose to leave, and so he is here now as a Jedi. Yes, parent. So you have that's right, with your mother and sister, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So your father, on the other hand, is still doing his
and my brother.
Yeah, doing their stuff for the other side. So, all right, down the left side, you go down that corridor, you see a Bothan wandering this way. You see his nostrils flare as he gets closer to you, and near you, Callum, and you just kind of hear him mutter, "Human." Ugh. And but yeah, the way his nostrils flare and his expression, you've seen some Bothans before. This is common with Bothans. They tend to be a little snooty, and they also are very fond of one of the first disparaging comments out of a Bothan's mouth is usually how other people smell.
Interesting.
So when Mon Mothma says, like, many Bothans died to deliver us these plans, most people don't care. Bothans are irritated. They have a good spy network, but they're assholes. So on Reddit, yeah, if a Bothan says, "Am I the asshole?" It's always a yes. So, but. There are, there's a couple of ships docked here. You can see one of them is a pretty clunky-looking ship. You're not entirely certain what it is as you're looking out the windows, where it's connected to the umbilical. But it looks more like a gigantic metal barrel with like 3 engines jammed onto the back. There's another ship, however. It's smaller and sleeker, and looks as if it's made for more like speed, but it's clearly big enough to hold a few people at least. You do see there's a couple of maintenance guys in here, and they're working on something up in the ceiling. So they have a lift in here that they're on. And you see that there is also a young woman who has slightly greenish tinted skin, and she has long hair, but it's in a top knot, and it hangs down, so she has an abbreviated hairline, so it's a couple inches back from her forehead. You get the feeling that it's natural rather than shaven that way. But she has black hair, and like I said, in the top knot that hangs down to probably about her knees, and a few strands of her hair are in beads. And she's wearing what looks like just some pilot fatigues, but they fit her in such a way that you can tell she's a reasonably fit young woman. And she seems to be having a disagreement with an Ithorian, or the term that is slightly derogatory, a hammerhead. But yeah, he's speaking in his language, and she's speaking basic to him, so she must understand him, or she has a translator in her ear or something like that. But anyway, it's gesturing to her, and she says, "I don't care." Okay. Yeah, you see the Ithorian just holds his hands up and lets out a strong exhale, and you see she makes a face because it must smell bad, and he just goes stomping off, walks past you guys. Anyway, you just see the
we won't have to interrupt.
Yeah, yeah. You just see her shake her head, and yeah, she's the only person on the deck right now. All right. Well, you both approach, and she looks at the two of you, and she lifts her eyebrows when she sees both of you. She tilts her head a little bit. And she says, "That's a little incongruous. A Jedi and a Sith."
And I say, "Oh."
She says, Yeah, she kind of narrows her eyes, but she has a half smile, and she says, "There's clearly a story here."
And I say,
how perceptive. I am a Jedi and a Sith.
and I say, "Oh, he's not. My friend here is not a Sith. He is from the Sith race, but he is not following in the ways of the Sith."
Did you say ways? Did you pronounce it with an H?
Yes.
Ways? Oh no, you're like Dewey from Family Guy. Okay. Okay, yeah. Well, she just lifts her, she already has, her eyebrows look to be naturally arched. She just lifts them both a little. And, but then she smiles a little bit. You can see her canines are also a little more pointed than a normal person's. And so she says, "So, can I help the two of you?"
I say, "Yes, indeed. We need transport down to the planet."
She says, "Transport down. You are in luck." And then she says, "Well, wait. Unlike the Ithorian, can you pay?"
I say, "What kind of payment are we talking here? As you can tell, we are both Jedi on an important mission, so..."
She says, "Well, I can't tell that, but what I can tell is if you have credits."
I say, "We are in a big hurry. There is a very dangerous thing happening right now. How much?"
She says, well, it depends on where you want to go." She says, "You don't want to go to where the royal family of Lon is, do you?"
Now, Tristan, would you have told me the coordinates?
Do I have the actual coordinates, or was it just a video of what looked like a village or like a little town?
No, it gives coordinates of where.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I would have given you the coordinates. Yeah.
Okay, so I say we need to go to these coordinates, or as near as you can get.
Well, she you tell her the coordinates, and she's like, oh. She says it. She seems as if she's doing some mental calculation. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. She says, "You sure you don't want to go to one of the towns or cities?"
Yes, those are very.
I think it'd be best if we went straight there.
No, we need to go straight there. It's the other ones are very boring, and where we need to go is very important.
She says, "Okay." She says, "In that case, the two of you, 100 credits, unless you want a round trip." She says, "I'm usually pretty nice. If you do it within 24 hours, 150 round trip."
Pull that out immediately.
I say 100 credits, and we owe you a favor. Round trip.
I think about 130, and still the favor.
95, and you have two Jedi who owe you a favor, and it's only
She frowned.
it's only going to go further down because a Jedi favor is not something that is easily given.
I'm like changing the amount of credits I'm holding to match their prices.
Yeah. She crosses her arms. She said, "You agreed to 100 and a favor, and you're going to drop the price? It seems to me that you need the ship more than I need the money."
Well, ma'am, can I do I don't have bluff. Can I do some sort of bureaucracy check or something and say, well, I'm sure there might be another pilot who's willing to go down for lower and then have a Jedi or two owe them favor.
She says, "I know all the ships that are docked, except for the one that just left." She says,
Wait, a ship just left?
She says, "Yeah,
What
but from the other docking port, two
what
over."
kind of ship?
That was a small one-man ship. She says, "It had a couple of nice blasters on it, too." She said, you normally don't see a ship that small with weapons that big, so she says it must have a really nice hyperdrive to power those things.
Tell you what, you tell me where that ship was going, and you take us to where we need to go, and I will let it be 130.
Okay. Payment up front.
All right, I toss her. I toss her 130.
Okay. Well, she takes it. She pulls out looks like a little specialized data pad, scans over it. Oh, good. She says sometimes people like to have fake money.
Not Jedi, I say out loud.
She says, "Well, I mean, you could be dressed like Jedi. I haven't seen you guys doing funny flips." And
take her data pad. I use the Force to lift her data pad out of her hand and then gently put it back in her hands.
Okay, roll a d20.
Oh shit. 10.
That's all you need to do up to
Perfect.
5
Because I was
kilos.
gonna look like an idiot if I.
Yeah. You're pointing your hand at it. Nothing happens. And she'd be like, "Yeah, right, Jedi. Okay, whatever, as long as you pay."
Yeah.
She's like, "Looney bin." Well, you lift it up. All right, Jedi.
I'll do a funny flip when we get there. Let's go.
We need to leave now. No more tricks. Get in your ship.
Okay. Well, you go through the umbilical and get aboard her ship. Like I said, it's a much sleeker design than The one you have, I mean, yours is decent, but yeah, hers is. It has a cockpit for 4 people, and then there's a little bit of storage space. She says, so you don't have any luggage or anything?
First off, on our way in, we're trailing a little behind her as we're heading in. We're all kind of going in quick, but I trail behind with Cab, and I lean over to him as we're kind of like walking in, and I say, I think she likes me. And I nudge you on the arm.
Yeah.
I nudge you on the arm, and I have this very proud look on my face as I close my eyes and upturn my head, walking forward.
I just smile too. I'm sure.
Well, so you get into her ship, and she says, well, strap in, buckle up. She
I
says,
strap in and buckle up.
well, she says, my name's Adrasta Zinix, by the way.
Pleasantries aside, make this thing go really fast, very fast.
She
And
says,
I'm Cab.
you want...
Oh, and I'm Callum. Move, go.
Well, she starts flipping some switches, and unlike some ships, this thing is ready to go in about 15 seconds, and she calls out to a flight control, and they give her the go-ahead, and probably within a total, from the time you step through the umbilical onto her ship, and the time that she is pulling the ship away from the station is about 90 seconds. So, and you are, when you say fast, yes, you hit a good probably 4 Gs immediately when she takes off. In fact, both of you roll fortitude checks.
Oh boy.
Can I use force? Can I use force defense?
Oh my god. Force defense.
Force defense now.
I have dissipate energy.
I got an 11. I rolled really
you
low.
can't quite dissipate kinetic
I
energy
got
in
a
the same
17.
way.
What can we add to this?
It's your your fortitude save, so it's going to be your constitution plus your bonus at your level, which is plus 4.
Okay, so I got a
Constitution.
I got a 22.
Okay, and Tristan, you got an 11.
He vomits.
No, it's not vomiting, but instead, you feel you don't pass out, but you do. It does get dark around the edges of your vision. Ooh, you feel a little loopy for a moment, a little fatigued. Yeah, ooh, and when she hits the atmosphere, and you see her messing with controls, she essentially puts the dials the forward shields up to pretty much drops the rear shields completely, and puts most of the power towards the front shields, and so you see a little definitely gets hot, turns orange in front, as for a little while, a little more real world stuff here, you can barely see out the front, and when you hit atmosphere like that, comms go out for a little bit because of the electromagnetic interference of puncturing the atmosphere. Not that you have comms going anyway, but so yeah, she's flying just by instruments there for probably a good 40 seconds, and then you're coming out into upper atmosphere, and in another 30 seconds or so, and she says, "Sorry, I like to dial the inertial dampeners back a little bit," and then you see her messing with the dial, and then Cab, you start to feel some of that forced fatigue starting to fade. And then it starts to feel more like normal gravity as you guys are flying down, and the shields are now have cooled, and soon you are flying over a heavily forested landscape with some mountains in the distance. She has the coordinates keyed in like you had said, and so you can, even from your seats behind her, you can see a topographical map as you are approaching it. And she says, how close do you want to, like, where exactly do you want to land?
Approximately, at least, what would I have? So I do have piloting skills, and I have computer skills, and I do have astronomy. So I would be able to know, like, how far, like, a 10-minute walk would be away, right? Okay, so
yeah. Well, think of it this way. This is fairly easy. If you wanted to be 10 minutes, but in a heavily forested area, so you're probably not going to move more than about 5 kilometers per hour generally. So, and if you want a 10-minute walk, you're going to want to be within.
I'm gonna pull an Obi-Wan.
No more than. Yeah, probably no more than about 1.5 kilometers.
Young Obi-Wan and be like, park over there in that outcrop, and like the like an opening in the woods that is like it'll give us some cover, but it's easier for her to land in.
Okay, well, she finds you see a partial clearing, just enough for the ship to land in, and she. Did you guys play Mass Effect Andromeda?
Yeah, I played that.
I did not.
Remember how the Tempest looked in that game? It's I was going to say this ship looks similar to that, but just smaller. See if I can. But anyway, she's landing in the little clearing, and she says, "Well, I don't have any other prospects right now, so I'll wait here for," she says, actually, I can do a little bit of cleaning on some of the scrubbers here. So she says, you know what, I'll be here for 2 hours. Otherwise, I'll leave after 2 hours, but then when would you want me to return? She says, you have a window of 24 hours, unless you want to pay more.
I'm
hoping to not spend 24 hours here.
I toss her another. I toss her another 50 credits, and I say, "Keep the engines running and stay."
All right, I'm willing to stay here till tomorrow.
We won't be gone that long. And I say, "Wait, do you have protection?"
That can have a different meaning depending on context.
I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, she says, I don't know you well enough. No. No. Well, you see, she pats her hip, and you can see the hilt of a vibro dagger there, which they're not as sturdy as lightsabers, but they will cut through transparent steel, about an inch. Lightsabers, though, you just melt through that shit. So, and then she has a small blaster pistol. She says, if need be, I do have weapons on my ship here.
I say, how much for you to come trailing after us or support?
She says, whoa. She says, I'm not a mercenary. I'm a pilot.
And we are Jedi, and we are here for a good cause. So
She says, yeah, but she says, I'm not really trained in combat. I know how to shoot, but she says, I'm not a combatant.
I say, perhaps it is time for you to learn.
Well, she just frowns a little bit, and she says, maybe I should park about 10 kilometers away, and you just call me. Give me your comlink signals.
No, you're staying right here. And I float. I force float the 50 credits out of her hands.
Well, she's already pocketed
okay,
that
all
shit.
right. Well, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I say,
It is a good idea to have comms, though.
I say, all right, no, stay here. Do you have comms? At least we might need you to come and pick us up closer.
She says, yeah, give me your comlink signals. Or she says, you know what? I'm going to give you mine, then you adjust your comlinks to my ship. So she gives you the frequency. She says, all right. She says, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean the scrubbers a little, and then I'm locking. She says, I'm going to lock the hatch. So if you need something, you call me. Because if you pound on the door, I'm not opening it unless I'm sure it's you.
Okay,
Very good.
All right. You wait here. And we go to leave. And I peek my head back in. And I'm just like, you stay?
She says, I'll stay. She says, unless, you're making the sound more dangerous. She says,
I told you. No.
She holds her finger up in the air.
And I point my finger at her and I say, a deal with the Jedi is a deal for the betterment of the galaxy.
She holds her finger up. She says, you know what? I didn't sign up to get killed. So if it gets really ugly, she says, I'll be a few kilometers straight up, and then you can call me and I'll come get you. She says, I'm not saying I'm going to leave you, but I'm not fighting for you.
No worries, no worries. There's not a problem. I doubt anyone is going to get killed, and I around the corner, I widen my eyes at Cab, and I'm like, kind of like giving you the, at least I hope not, kind of like.
I just say I agree.
Well, Adrasta, she looks at you, Cab, and she says, "Is your friend serious? Because he's making this sound really dangerous. All of a sudden."
Well, it is important. As for the danger, if you do feel that you need to make some evasive maneuvers, we will just let us know, and then we'll keep in touch.
Whatever you feel that makes you comfortable, so long as we stick to our deal, it is totally okay with us, because we are truly here on a mission. There is no expectation of danger.
She says, all right, you're making it sound different now. She says, all right. She says, now remember, though, she says, you're a Jedi, right? And you say it's for the good? Well, remember. Yeah.
We're already leaving.
Well, she comes to the hatch, and she's calling after you. She says, you know what? I'm just a young pilot, a woman trying to make a buck. Well, she didn't say a buck. She says, trying to make a few credits. She says, so don't get me killed. Well, that's on you.
As we get further, I'll just say, we'll do our best, and then I'll do a funny flip.
Okay. All right, make an acrobatics check.
Jump or balance?
Jump and tumble. We're combining that, both of those, and
okay.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be balance. It'd be acrobatics. So yeah, if you have jump but no tumble, then just turn your jump into an acrobatics.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
We're gonna go with jump, and that's gonna be a 28.
That is the best.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a 28 you could probably do like a double forward flip or a single backward flip easily.
And then when I land, just say, just call if there is danger.
She just kind of looks at the two of you. Okay. All right. Well.
And we did.
Did you just drop the hard on?
No, I said danger.
He dropped his hard on.
No.
All right.
The reason she's saying that is because in a different campaign, that's very Red Dead Redemption influence has the word involved at the beginning of the campaign.
We got a hard ride ahead of us, boys.
All right. So trying to find these coordinates through the trees. Both of you, do either one of you have survival as a skill?
Do we have survival as a skill? Was that the question? Sorry.
Yes, that is my question. Do you have survival as a skill?
I do not.
Does Callum have survival?
I don't believe I do.
Okie dokie then. I'm gonna need you guys to make a D20 with your intelligence modifier.
Boy.
Okay, that is a 16.
15 for me.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys are walking, and from the sight of the sun overhead, right now at this point on the planet where you are, it is looks like early to mid-afternoon. So you believe you're going in the correct direction, and after about 7-8 minutes or so, you can hear the sound of I don't know. It's kind of a steady noise, and a little bit further, you walking a little bit further, you can hear. It sounds like somebody's chopping wood.
Okay, I want to stealthily move up and see what this is all about.
Alrighty. All right, roll a d20 for your stealth.
Yeah, third.
Well, I guess I'll sneak too.
You big.
Unless I can stand back.
Yeah. Oh, natural 20.
Why don't I hang back?
Okay. All right. All right, Cab. You see Callum sneaking through the undergrowth here. It's mostly deciduous type trees here, so not really much in the way of conifer sort of trees. There are a few ferns here and there, and some other plants you don't recognize. Hopefully, none of them are the itchy kind of plants.
Right.
And let's see, it's a little warm right now, a little warmer than what would be normally comfortable, and there are a few insects flying around as well. Callum, you sneak forward probably a good 20 meters or so until, you see some fellow chopping at a tree. You can see there's a few other trees that look as if they have been felled. Some stumps, and you do see another tree that's lying on its side, clearly has been chopped down, and he's working on this tree is probably a good 3 feet thick, and he's only maybe a tenth of the way into this tree trunk, not using any sort of mechanical cutters or laser cutters or anything like that, but just a simple axe chopping a tree.
Okay, do they look hostile?
To the tree.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're playing a character like Groot, that might not be cool. But he looks. He must be one of the. It's a very humanocentric term, but he looks near human. In fact, this guy. Well, roll a d20, and you get to add your intelligence bonus, unless you have alien species as a knowledge.
No, I only have a history.
All right, yeah, just roll a d20 plus your intelligence.
Plus my intelligence, that is a 17.
right. Yeah, he's an Arcanian. There's a few offshoots of the Arcanians too, but basically look mostly human. They tend to have blue or green eyes, have 3 fingers and an opposable thumb, but yeah, otherwise look reasonably human. Tend to live just a decade or 2 longer than the average human. So, but yeah, Arcanian, not a native to this planet, as it seems that most of the people on this planet are human. But anyway, yeah, he's chopping the tree, and you can see there's a jacket lying on a stump nearby, and he's sweating, but just seems he's kind of humming to himself periodically while he's swinging the axe.
Okay. Would I be able to gauge how close we are to the holocron location?
Well, if you're going in the right direction, you think you should be within probably another maybe 400 meters. So, the length of about 4.25 football fields. Not that football is played here, but
Space football.
Yep. Probably be the equivalent of a Blood Bowl
Space
then.
soccer.
From Warhammer.
Space golf. We've got every space sport you want. Not your speed.
So yeah,
out,
probably less than a half kilometer. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So,
I'm gonna sneak past him since I got that 20.
I have a question.
Posible question.
Is this does he look like the same race as the people in the video?
Like most of them in the video looked human, but there were a couple of near humans, and you did see oh hey wife. You did see amongst them one of the Aqualish. You know what that is?
I do not.
And Aqualish is here we go. I'll show you. They're like in A New Hope, when Luke is in the cantina and those two aliens, the one with a really futzed up face, and then the other one who's clearly just an ugly alien who doesn't even speak basic.
Yeah.
The ugly alien that does not speak basic. The ugly guy's like, oh, my friends wanted in 7 systems or whatever the heck it was.
My friend has the death penalty.
The other
systems.
Yeah. So the friend who has the death penalty in 12 systems is the Aqualish. Okay. They're generally fairly short-tempered individuals, but yeah, you saw one of them in the video, and another one that looked like a Twi'lek. Otherwise, the rest of them were humans or near human. So
okay. And was there sound in the video?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go find out if this guy speaks common or whatever it is.
Galactic Basic.
Galactic Basic. That's the one.
Yep. Okay. So, Callum, you were sneaking past. Are you trying to be quiet, Cab, or are you just walking?
Nope. I'll pop up and say hello.
Okay. Well, Callum, you were sneaking around, kind of curving around the small clearing here that has been made from some other trees. That there are some saplings growing up, so you can tell they must have cut some trees around here quite a bit.
I hear him say
and you're seeing,
and I just like
you do indeed.
And it's almost I squeezed my shoulders and my neck together, and I was just like,
Like,
Yeah.
oh no. Okay, yeah. Well, the guy he pulls his axe back. You know, he just chopped into the trunk. He pulls his axe back and he leaves the handle resting on his shoulder, and he looks at you. Hello. He says it in basic.
Pardon me. I'm I'm looking
Yeah, he
for.
just looks you up and down, and
Yeah. Is there a village near here? I appear to be lost.
you are a long way out for being lost. And yeah, there's a village close by.
Would you point me that direction?
Well, he points due west. So
right.
the sun is just a little forward and ahead of you, and well, when you turn west, but he's pointing that way. He says, "Go that way. It's maybe half a kilometer."
Much appreciated, and I start running that way.
You start running.
Yeah.
He holds his hand up. Hey, wait.
Whoa. Yeah.
He says, "Be careful when you." He says the villagers, they're a little leery of outsiders, so just make certain you keep your hands away from your weapons and just be respectful, and they'll be respectful to you. They're a little. He says we out here tend to be a little more old-fashioned.
Will do. Thank you for your advice, and I start running again.
Okay.
I'm just a little bit ahead of you, just
Well,
waiting.
All right. Well, yeah, you see Callum kind of crouched amongst some ferns and by a tree trunk.
I give you like the what the heck shrug.
What? What's the problem?
It's like, well, apparently it's nothing.
I agree. Yes.
Master told us to try not to cause problems.
I look around. I fail to see the problem.
I fail to see how you almost failed to not make a problem.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we Jedi or are we space ninjas?
Excuse me. So I want to say, yeah, we just keep picking as we're going.
While we're running to the woods.
Okay. Well, so, or some term equivalent to ninja. Space assassins, yeah, that would be. Okay, so you guys, are you walking, jogging? How are you moving?
We're probably at least jogging.
Okay, all right. All right, so and you can move. Let's see. So we'll say maybe moving half speed. So would that be then? 20 meters around. So, oh yeah, in about 2 minutes, trotting through the trees, you see a clearing ahead, and you can see some buildings. You can smell food is cooking. Definitely some meat of some sort, and there's some other stuff involved. Some spice. It smells good. And you hear the sounds of some children. And as I'll assume you're slowing down a little.
Yeah.
As you approach. Okay. As it clears out, you can see that there's a structure. It's basically like one of our timber forms for kids on a playground. And you do see there's 5 or 6 children messing around there on the somewhat complicated built timber forms for them. There's a woman not too far away from them who's she has a tub of water and she's washing some clothing. And like I said, very rustic. As you see other people moving around, you don't see anyone with blasters or anything like that. In fact, no weapons at all. But so what are you going to do? Like I said, from here you can see there's probably at least 9 or 10 structures. They appear to be made of rough logs. Essentially cabins have been built here with a long house in the center. And people moving about, doing their work.
I think when we run into the first adult, we would ask them who if we could speak to whoever is the leader or whoever's in charge.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you get some strange looks from a few of the people here, and there's a man walking over towards you as you're entering the little village. He looks to be probably, you're going to guess, human, probably mid to late 50s, receding hairline. What hair he does have is mostly gray, and he's wearing relatively simple clothing. But you do see that the jacket he's wearing it's an older version, but a jacket that would have been worn by Republic troopers, probably a good 20, 25 years ago. So, but yeah, he approaches you and greetings. He does.
Hello.
He does eye Callum too. Definitely looking you up and down at your robes.
Yeah.
And then you do see he also gives you a bit of a look, like just his eyes narrow just a hint, and he says, "How can I help you two?"
Oh, well, my name is Cab. I am an apprentice to Jedi apprentice, to be clear, to Master Thorm. Your turn.
And I too am a Jedi apprentice to Master Thorm. My name is Callum.
And we are here looking for an item.
He says, "All right." He says, "My name is Timok." He says, "You've come to our village looking for something."
Yes. Do I have like a data pad or something I can show him?
I don't know. Do you carry your data pad with you? That's kind of
Yeah. Yes.
okay. Then yeah.
Yeah. I will show him.
Well, he looks at the data pad and he says, "I do remember how to use one of these, but..."
Oh, can I put this in something?
He says, well, he glances over towards the children and he says, "We generally like to avoid the technology of this sort. Let's come to my cabin."
Of course.
All right. There's no variation in the cabins, really. They all look fairly uniform, but you just go up a couple of steps and go through a simple wooden door into once again, a very, very rustic living here. As they don't have central air heating. Their heating is from fireplaces. Like I said, it's a little warm right now, so everybody's wearing most of them are wearing short sleeves. He seems to be comfortable wearing the old Republic trooper jacket though. But he invites you guys to sit down, and he says, "I can offer you tea." He says, "We have two kinds."
Oh, thank you, but we are in a little bit of a hurry.
All right. Well, he just leans against the mantle by the fireplace, which is unlit at the moment. And he says, "All right, so show me what you need to show me."
And can I play it for him?
Yeah, you can.
All right. And when it gets to the Sith Holocron, I would ask him if he knows what that is.
Well, as he's watching it, you see his brow is knitted a little bit into a creased up, and he says, "So someone was spying on us?"
That's correct.
And you want to take one of our objects?
Well, do you know what this is? And I pointed out to him.
He says, "Well, years ago I retired from being a Republic officer." And he says, "One of the last campaigns we were on, we took down a small Sith Empire ship. There were no survivors, but we were picking through it, and he says, my captain told me that we could kind of help ourselves because there were three of us who were getting ready to retire, and so I took that thing. It was in the quarters of on the ship. It says it was, like I said, it had crashed. It was ripped open, but I found some credits, and spent the credits and kept that thing. Figured it was some art object. Why?"
Well, to keep things short and simple, it is a very dangerous object, and dangerous people are going to come looking for it. We would like to take it out of here.
He says, "I've had that thing for over a decade. It hasn't done anything."
Alone here on this planet, for you, it won't be. But the ones who are looking for it right now, they want it for not so savory reasons. I don't know if you've realized, but we are Jedi, as I said. We are keepers of peace. Our mission is always to preserve and protect the Republic, the galaxy, and its people.
Says, "I was a Republic trooper. I worked beside a couple of Jedi before."
Which ones?
Well, he gives you some names, but it's nothing that...
I
There
say
are thousands and thousands.
I know them. Yes.
I know him personally.
I know him personally. Yeah.
He does glance at Cab, though, and he says, "I've seen one or two people who look like you, too. But they were always on the other side."
Yes, unfortunate.
Yes, my friend here is truly a Jedi. He is not of actual Sith teachings.
He says, "Well, I figure..."
Just blood.
He says, "If you were really Sith, I suppose you wouldn't just be asking."
Yes.
Yeah, very to the point. Yeah,
He says,
I'd kill you.
well, so Timok, he says, "All right, so this thing would be dangerous in the hands of anyone other than Jedi, is what you're
This
saying."
thing is dangerous in anyone's hands. It must be taken away, and, if possible, destroyed.
All right. Says this is highly unusual, getting visitors at all, and then Jedi. He says, All right. Let's say I believe you, and I give this thing to you. And you've found out about this thing somebody was spying. Are my people in danger?
So far as we know, anyone who's looking for this would just want the object. We know there was a one man coming here. We don't know.
Roll a d20. Yeah, both of you roll a d20.
Anything to it?
Yeah, your perception or listen, whichever.
So listen, he got 7, I got 17.
Okay. You both hear your comlinks click a couple of times, which is usually the kind of like a quiet. It'll click. That's one of the things you do to answer people when you want it. Like if you're on radio silence, but you hear it click twice, and then you hear your comlinks click twice again, and then you hear quietly over the comlink, "Are you guys okay?" It's a Drosta.
I say,
do you want me to take it?
say, yes.
You seem to have a better time talking with her. I don't.
I'm gonna kind of just step to the side and say yeah, we're fine. Is everything all right over there? We're in the middle of a conversation.
She says, "I just saw a ship fly over a few kilometers away, and it looks like it was going in the direction you guys went." She says, "I don't recognize it, but it doesn't look friendly."
Right. Thank you for the heads up. Oh, go ahead.
Jasper, that's about the time you also you just barely hear it. Sounds like a ship, but like a ship coming in quieter, like it's probably only using repulsor lifts at this point, so it's not using the thrusters. But yeah, you just barely hear it, and it's definitely
pick it up
approaching.
Over my hearing, and I kind of look over my shoulder. Even if it's at a wall, I can just hear it. And I look back to the Republic trooper and I say, "I promise, if you give this to me at this very moment, right now, I will take it. I will lead any potential danger away from your village. I will make them chase us. You will not be harmed. Your people will not be harmed. But we need it now."
All right, come with me. You step outside of his cabin. I assume that both of you are following him.
Yeah.
He gets about 5 steps from his cabin, going towards the longhouse. When you see it, it's on its repulsor lifts, and you can hear it now. And the treetops are bending as it's coming in. Like I said, just almost touching the treetops. So the repulsor lifts are shoving the trees down a little bit. And you see a hatch on the side of this it's just the ship itself, just the shape looks a little sinister. It has what looks like some antennas sticking off of it, but they almost look like they're horns in the way that they're coming off of it, or spikes. You see that it has on each side what you call weapon blisters, which means there's guns that will pop out of those rounded spots. And you see the hatch on the side is open. And standing in the hatchway with and on either side you can see there's cord systems, and they're getting ready to drop. You guys have seen this, are Sith troopers.
Oh.
So it's a transport that could carry up to about a dozen troopers.
Oh, geez.
So it's probably just a wee bit bigger than like what you saw in Attack of the Clones. With those ships that the clones were using.
Yeah, yeah.
So just a little bit bigger than that. But yeah, one of these little troop ships can hold about 12 troopers plus a pilot. But in addition to that, in the distance, you guys can see a very pointed-looking small ship about the size of a small fighter approaching as well.
That one that we don't recognize.
And I say, Cap, Sith troopers coming in. We need to stop them now.
All right.
Yep. You see, the first two are leaping out and, dropping on their cords, making the 15-meter drop. Their weapons are ready, and they're silver and gray armor with some red tinting here and there.
I go running forward with my lightsaber in my hand, getting ready to turn it on. I say, "You handle the ones on the ground. I'm gonna take care of the ship."
You got it. And I run forward as well, lightsaber in hand.
Okay. This is where we will pick it up next week.
Oh,
I think you know what I'm trying to do.